my feeling that one of the peculiarities of the current moment, which is characteristic for Russia, for the United States, for European Union, and for a number of other countries and powers, is that we are living in a so turbulent time, which makes us lack strategic visions. So things are changing so fast that it's really complicated to have some consistent vision of the future. And we see it in the case of Washington, at some point in the case of Brussels, at some point in the case of Russia. So I would say that we have long-term interests in our relations with European Union. This is a trade, economic relations. European Union is our trade partner number one. It is the source of innovations for us. We have very extensive human exchange, educational exchange. So Europe is something which is very close to us. And I cannot imagine Russia outside Europe. So in a sense, I know that there is a huge debate whether Russia is a European country. And this is not a question for me. Russia is a European country with European mentality, with all of the shortcomings of European way of thinking too. But in terms of strategy, I think that what we lack from both sides, from the Russian side and from the EU side, is now a positive agenda. We have been severely affected by the Ukrainian crisis, and it freezed our interactions in many spheres. So on governmental levels, on the level of the Russian government and European Commission. And while now the progress in solving of the Ukrainian crisis, progress in Minsk implementation, Minsk agreements implementation, may be one of the critical factors to improve the relations. In the strategic future, no partner can replace European Union for Russia. So there are popular talks that, for instance, Russia should change EU for China, for instance, or get rid from the West and turn to the East. I think that this is a false opposition. We should improve and develop our relations with China, with Asia Pacific, with Japan, with other Asian countries, but they cannot replace Europe for us. And this is not a matter of trade, or Europe for Asia or vice versa. So Russia is a Eurasian country. It was through the whole continent, and it's natural for Russia to develop ties with Europe and with Asia at the same time. And historically, Russia is rather a European country with European mentality for 400 years. At least it was an essential part of European political life and cultural life, economic life. But let's get back to your question. It's a good question is a guarantee of good answer. And I think that we should work on this strategy together. So this should not be just Russian strategy or just EU strategy. At some point, we need a joint roadmap. How do we see our future? There was a concept of Greater Europe. It was designed by Charles de Gaulle a long time ago, then developed by Gorbachev, by François Mitterrand, by many other European thinkers and Russian thinkers. So in current political conditions, it's very hard to sit and talk on this on official level. But no one blocks us from discussing this on the level of experts, on the level of 1.5 track with distinguished former policymakers and high-level figures and experts. And I think here within this Boa Club, we have one of the opportunities to talk about this. And yesterday we had a vibrant session on security and terrorism, and there were lots of hard questions. And I think that what is important is that we should not avoid these hard questions, tough questions. We should address them, we should pronounce the problem, not be political correct to each other. So I'm not afraid of tough questions. So I welcome them because I can provide my vision, I can hear your vision. And this is one of the channels where we can, let's say, generate ideas and contribute to the climate and cultivation of important soil to make this future joint strategy possible. And I'm sure that political life is cyclic. So now we are on the down of this cycle. But this doesn't mean that tomorrow or after tomorrow this conjuncture will not remain, will not change. It will change, inevitably. Because, well, we cannot choose for geography. Geography is our destiny. And at some point we will need to think about our joint future.